What's cracking, Jack? You are in the jungle. Friday night college football. Let's break down the biggest games and come up with best bets for them right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I'm going to break down the two biggest games in college football for Friday, October 17th, and give you a winning side for both those games. I also have a bonus pick for you at the end of the video, a third game, so make sure you stick around until the very end. I'm going to leave two links for you in the comment section. The first link is to my $5 favorite college football play of the day. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my favorite bet of college football for Friday text right to your phone. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And for as little as 55 cents a day, you can become a member. What does that mean? Well, it means you get my full betting card, my personal betting ticket, delivered to your phone by text message every single day. That includes all sports, everything I bet. You also get access to our members-only Discord, and now I'm very biased, of course, but I believe that our Discord, with over 130 members, has some of the most knowledgeable sports bettors that there is. You also get a direct line to me if you'd like me to personally opine on any other bet you're considering placing with a guaranteed response. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster. Ask for the Silverback Sampler Platter at participating locations. Eat like a gorilla today. First game we're looking at is Louisville, the Cardinals, at number 2 ranked Miami. Miami is minus 13.5. The over-under set at 50.5. Miami has played 4 good teams this season, and they covered this number against Florida, and they covered this number against USF. They won but didn't cover the number against Notre Dame and against Florida State. The talk in the college football world and the handicapping world is that Miami may be the best team in the country, and it's not a reach at all. They're fantastic, and I also have them number 2 in my rankings behind Ohio State. I have Indiana 3. When they line up to face anybody, Miami probably is going to win the battles in the trenches, and Louisville really has to worry about the trench battle in this game when the Cardinals are on offense. The Louisville offensive line has been terrible this season. They're 110th in sacks allowed. Miller Moss is getting sacked 2.6 times a game. That's 95th, and they're 95th in allowing quarterback hits, and 129th in tackles for loss of 136 teams. So this, of course, is, they have to worry about Miami's defensive line, maybe the best in the country, 2 of the best edge rushers probably in the country. It's going to be a huge concern for Miller Moss and that Cardinals defense. Teams that aren't the Hurricanes are getting to the running backs before they even hit the line of scrimmage. Miami, arguably, like I said, one of the best defensive lines in the country. And as I mentioned, they dominate the line of scrimmage, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. They get after the quarterback. They hit the quarterback. They get to the running back before they get to the line of scrimmage, and they don't allow rushing yards. Miami's allows just 87 yards a game on the ground. And defensively, they're giving up just 13.6 points a game. And remember, they played 4 teams that have been ranked at some point in the season, top 25. So these numbers are against the best of the best, and they're giving up still just 13.6 points a game. Offensively, Carson Beck, a perfect fit for that offense. He's got playmakers on the outside, and they're built to run the football. They do that very well. Mark Fletcher Jr., Hurricanes running back, is number 1 in the ACC, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. Carson Beck's veteran presence behind center limits the amount of turnovers that offense makes. The Hurricanes turn the ball over just 0.6 times a game, top 10 in college football. Louisville's 4-1 this season. They played 2 good opponents. They beat Pitt, but Pitt outgained them in that game. And they beat Virginia, but they outgained Virginia. Both those games were close. Both those games against good teams were close. But this is a huge step up in class for Louisville. Louisville is a good ACC team, but Miami is a national championship contender. There's a big difference. And it's like Apollo said to Rocky in Rocky 3. Remember, Stallion, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. Well, Miami's a great team. And the only way I don't see them not covering the spread of 13.5 is if it's a hangover spot coming off the big win at Florida State, or a flat spot in general for Miami if they're getting too big for themselves with the praise that they're receiving from everyone in the media in the college football world. But not likely, I don't see that happening because they're coming off of a bye after that big win. And it's a Friday night game on national TV. There's not many other games going on, so they'll have all the eyes on them. This Miami Hurricanes team is not one to not enjoy the spotlight. Louisville is in over their head, in my opinion. Cardinals are in over their head. And I think that Miami's going to turn it on at home, cover the spread of 13.5, get it before it moves to 14.5. Next game we're looking at, very interesting matchup. Number 25, Nebraska at Minnesota. Nebraska minus a touchdown and a hook here. Over-under set at 47.5. Now, it's worth noting here that Nebraska is 3-8 on the road straight up under Matt Rule. And you have to wonder if this is a classic distraction spot for Nebraska. Here's what I mean by that. All we're hearing all week about Nebraska football is everything except about this game against Minnesota. Pardon me. Matt Rule's name has emerged as a top contender for the head coaching job at Penn State, and he's saying he loves it, right? I think he'd take the job. And you have Dylan Raiola saying he's my coach, he's not going anywhere. Lots of distractions on the road against a Minnesota team that suddenly that loss they had against Cal early in the season doesn't look so bad. Cal's turned out to be a pretty good team. The Golden Gophers are good defensively, 49th in scoring, allowing 21.2 points a game, 48th against the pass, 28th against the run. Now remember, these are out of 136 teams, so these are good rankings. But what Minnesota does defensively, Nebraska does even better. 30th in scoring, first in the country against the pass, allowing just 118 yards a game through the air. Not as good against the rush, 82nd, but they also have played very good teams, Michigan, Maryland, Michigan State, who can move the ball. So those numbers kind of skew you a little bit. Now, Nebraska's the better team, but Minnesota hasn't lost at home. And last week, they beat a good Purdue team in Minnesota. Their whole game before that, they beat a good Rutgers team. And that loss at Ohio State, really kind of slanted some of the numbers statistically the wrong way for Minnesota. I'm buying into the distraction, the narrative here from Nebraska focused on the wrong things and maybe overlooking a good Minnesota football team at home. I'm not saying Minnesota wins the game outright. They could. But I think a touchdown and a hook is too much here. Give me the home team plus the 7.5. I got a bonus game for you. Before we get to that, I want to talk to you for just a second about one of my partners, mybookie.ag, one of the biggest offshore sports betting books that there is. If your state doesn't allow, especially apps for sports betting, go to mybookie.ag. It's a website accessible in all 50 states. Right now, they have a promo for Jungle viewers, and if you use, use promo code Silverback to open up a new account with mybookie.ag, and your first bet is guaranteed up to $500. What that means is that at mybookie.ag, open up a new account, promo code Silverback. If your first bet you make with them doesn't hit with that promo code, they'll refund it up to $500. Nothing to lose, guys. Everything to gain. Promo code Silverback at mybookie.ag. Some of the most competitive lines you'll find in the business. I talked about a bonus game. Here we go. It's San Jose State at Utah State. Utah State laying 3.5 at home. Over-under at a hefty 63.5. I like the home team here, laying the points. Utah State coming off a bad loss to Hawaii, but that game was on the island. And that's a tough place to play for any team with the travel, the time change, etc. Nobody plays well in Hawaii. San Jose State, the Spartans don't travel well. They lost straight up last week on the road as a favorite to Wyoming. The week before that, they lost at Stanford but covered. And the only other game they played on the road was against the Texas Longhorns September 6th, and they got trounced in that game. Meanwhile, Utah State has a very strong home field. They're 3-0 at home against the spread this season, 3-0 straight up. Neither team is that good defensively. San Jose State allowing 29.2 points a game. Utah giving up 32.7. Utah's bad against the pass, but San Jose State's even worse. They're 132nd in the country. The Spartans allow 292.7 yards a game through the air. But San Jose State is better than Utah against the run. San Jose State defensively, gives up big chunk plays though. 119th in the country. They allow 6.1 yards per play. And chunk plays have been the strength of this Utah State offense. They're 35th in the country, gaining 6.2 yards per play. And they don't turn the ball over. San Jose State turns the ball over at a 2-1 margin, more than Utah State does. I think that's the difference here. Utah State controlling the ball better. Explosive offense. San Jose State traveling to thin air. They haven't won yet on the road. Taking on a Utah State team that has covered every game this year at home against the spread. Take Utah minus the 3.5. Let's have a day, Jungle Nation, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.